This is Dr. Mercola, and if you've been a subscriber to the site for a while, you know I'm absolutely committed to facilitating a complete transformation of the entire fatally flawed healthcare system. And that's why I developed this site, to provide you with loads of information. Most all of it is free, so that it empower you and your family to start to take control of your health. But I've realized a long time ago that the most effective way to do this is with your cooperation and those of many others. So in an effort to understand and listen to your concerns, we have a very well-trained customer service department. And it's so well-trained that if you've ever had an opportunity to interact with them through purchasing one of our products, you know that we actively seek to listen and understand what your experience has been. And that's why after every interaction, we provide an opportunity to rate our service. And the rating is simply from 0 to 10, 10 being great, 0 being terrible, of how your experience was. And what we've noticed is that 85% of the people rate us a 9 or a 10. So I think that's pretty good, but we're always looking for room for improvement. We're seeking to be the best we possibly can to serve you as best possible. And that's one of the reasons for this video, because there's been some concerns about an article that I posted recently about krill oil compared to fish oil. And I just wanted to expand on that and provide you with more details, so those of you who have concern that we're doing this for financial or economic reasons, that's clearly simply not the case. As you know, I've been a long proponent of omega-3 fats for optimal nutrition, and I believe ideally they should come from animal-based sources. Now, I myself personally consume flaxseed and other forms of plant-based omega-3s, but I realize and understand that most all of our body's ability to convert that lower chain or smaller fatty acid to the higher chain fats, such as EPA and DHA, is somewhat limited. And ideally we need that, because the DHA is literally more than half of our brain is composed of this fat, and if you don't have high amounts of that, you can run into serious problems, or at least not high, but sufficient amounts. So that's why I recommend animal-based omega-3s. Now, in a perfect world, go back a few hundred years, the absolute best, the finest form of omega-3 intake is from your food, and that would be from fish or sea-based food. And unfortunately, as you know, if you've been reading the site for a while, that is just not practical or possible for most fish because of the contamination, primarily from mercury, which is generated from volatilizing mercury through burning coal for electricity. And 55% of the coal, of the electricity produced in the U.S. is produced from coal. Most people don't know that and don't realize that 40 tons of mercury is emitted into the atmosphere every year from doing this. So that essentially contaminates almost all the waterways in the world, and the mercury gets deposited in the water, and it bioaccumulates into the animal food chain, and depending on how large and how long that specific species of fish or has been around, that is going to be a direct reflection of how effective it is able to bioaccumulate and multiply, sometimes in many cases millions of times higher than it is in the surrounding water. So as you know, mercury is a very potent neurotoxin. It causes lots of problems and complications. It's definitely something you do not want in your body. So that is a problem which is really, for the most part, requires most of us to obtain our source of animal-based omega-3s from supplemental forms. And even though I don't believe it's a supplement, I really believe it's a food, because it is providing something we were designed to get from the food that we eat. So that really provides us with either food or the newer form of omega-3 fats. That is my favorite and personal recommendation, as you know, is krill. Now, krill is a much smaller organism. It is whale food, essentially, and because it's so small and it's short-lived, it has very little time to bioaccumulate mercury or other potential toxins that can, such as dioxins and DDT and a whole variety of other things that tend to bioaccumulate in fish. And so it's much cleaner. And now we can clean fish oil, there's no question, but it needs to go through a process typically, and that processing can cause a problem. So does that mean all fish oil is bad? No, there's clearly a number of good brands that are out there, and if you find that fish oil works for you, then certainly continue it. In fact, any of my recommendations, it's all based on your body. You need to listen to what your body is telling you. If your body says, no, I don't care what I say, what anyone else says, don't do it. Don't take that supplement. Don't take that food recommendation. You need to honor what your body's telling you, because that's going to be the best feed you can possibly get. But for most people, the experience has been that krill will provide a superior form of omega-3 supplementation for a variety of reasons. One is it has a higher, more effective absorption rate. That's because of the phospholipids attached to it, so it's more easily absorbed, and because of that, you don't get this burping or belching, and you need far lower quantities. So rather than taking 2, 3, 4 grams of fish oil, you can get by with 1 gram of krill oil and still get the amount of omega-3s that you need in your system. So it actually becomes a more cost-effective and easier solution. So these are the reasons why I now recommend krill. And it's what I take personally, what I recommend for my family members, for my mother, my sister, my brother. These are the things that they take. So, I'm not recommending anything to you that I don't recommend for myself and my family. So that's my philosophy. It makes no sense to do anything else. So I've stopped taking fish oil a long time ago, and because I believe krill is better. Now, does that mean, again, that everyone should stop? No, it depends upon your particular circumstances. But from my understanding, review the literature, that is my conclusion. So you're certainly free to review all the literature and information that's out there and come to your own conclusions. But if you're looking for me for guidance, that is what my position is. So hopefully this clarifies my position and helps clear up some of the confusion around this issue that's been created from the article that I posted recently. So again, the purpose of this site is to help inform, to educate you, to help you and your family with more basic information about health so that you can all start to take control of your health.